So, hey everybody, this is Principal Anderson at Michelle Clark, and so excited to do March, which is Women in History. And there are so many like fabulous, great women that have made history. And sometimes we only talk about the ones that are not here anymore. But I'm so excited to start a podcast series with women who have just doing phenomenal things just here in Chicago for younger women, older women. And today I'm joined by the great, awesome principal of Melody Elementary, Miss Tiffany Tillman.
Yay!
Oh yeah, the crowd goes.
That's the crowd,
That's the
right?
crowd. That's the crowd. That's the crowd.
Yay!
And so, first of all, let's just start here. Like, I think that you are definitely a woman that has made much history. And I just want to hear what your thoughts are on, like, do you feel that way, or do you ever look back and say, wow, I made history in something?
No. First, I want to say thank you for inviting me because I never think of it that way because I think if I think of it that way, I'll stop. Someone told me a long time ago, this is not a race, it's a marathon. So I just never really think. I just keep going and keep going until my heart finally tells me you've left a legacy and you can stop. I think if I thought about it though, it's a lot. The world is different. Things are different. There's too many loopholes, and I probably would quit. Just being honest. This is an honest
Yeah,
conversation.
it's an honest conversation.
Yeah, as of a couple of weeks prior, again, been with CPS 30 years, been in Melody for 13 years.
Wow,
We
I
do
didn't
a
know
lot
it
of
was
work.
13
Yeah, it's been
years.
13 years. We do a lot of work, and I've been through deaths of students. Now I'm going through students who took a different pathway, and I'm like, so I'm doing all this so you can give up?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what's just been heavy on my heart lately. I mean, I get into my little pit modes, but I'll pull myself up. But I'm hurt that my students decided to choose the wrong path instead of the path that we kind of created for them.
Yeah, but when you think about it, and I can see where that can make you feel like I kind of just I'm tired, right? Like mentally just tired. Like what else do I need to do? One of the things that I would say from the years that I've known you is you are one of those that always find a way to reinvent yourself.
Ah,
And that reinvention of yourself, like I think one day, or one season you a certain way, the next season, and I think you always bounce back to what the season needs. And so when I think about, like, I remember years back when you had a student that had got killed,
oof, yeah.
and how it just took a
Oof.
huge toll on you, right?
Yes.
And then I saw you in the next season figure out, how do I make this work now for my others? And so even hearing you say being tired because some of your kids have chosen a different path that you wanted, when I heard that, all I heard was she's about to reinvent herself again.
I am.
So talk to us about
I
I
am.
think about you made history here at Michelle Clark, first of all. So let's stop for a moment.
Oh, yes. Once an eagle.
Yeah, always the eagle. You were, let's just tell everybody about what you did here at Michelle Clark.
Programs. I've always been into programs. 100 Black Men, Build, U of I, Principal Scholar. I just believe that students need to have full experience. And so with that comes programs. It's not always academic. Everybody's not going to college, and I'm not naive to that, but I need to give you some type of pathway to you can be an entrepreneur. Dance downs because I'm a former dancer.
Yes, yes.
A couple of my students, DJ nights. I mean, we just had fun here. Like Michelle Clark, it's fun. And we didn't really know that we were here like 24 hours because there's no windows here. So
Yeah.
we'd be here at 10, 11 o'clock at night. And when you see the kids and they're kicking it and everybody's having a good time, I'd rather that than them outside,
Yeah.
not having any type of connection with family. So I think that comes from my family lineage because it's just always a party. I'll make a game out of anything. Uno, spades, whatever. Who can grow the plant the most? We do this,
Yeah.
And then let me give you your flowers. We've been friends. We've been talking on the phone every morning for 16 years. And we
16
haven't
years.
missed. And if we miss, then we text and we'll get back on the phone at night. So I think that we kind of motivate each other.
Yeah.
It's a smooth competition. I had students from Melody come up here and say, "Oh, he's like the male version of you." Then your students will come to Melody, "Oh, he's the female version. Are you the male version of him?"
Uh-huh.
And so I take that because That's true friendship.
Yeah.
You tell me things that I need to improve and vice versa. I don't take it personal. I can take critical conversations, and I think that that's makes me a stronger person.
Yeah.
With that being said, I just want the best for everybody. I have a lot of mantras, and
Hmm.
I used to tell them at Michelle Clark when I was here, if I'm driving a Lexus, you need to drive a Lexus.
And you had the
So,
one band, all
oh,
band,
one band, one sound.
one
Like,
band,
ooh,
one
we got a
sound. I
lot,
knew
and
I
we're
was like one band,
walking. Yeah,
everybody
we were
play or
walking all
something.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, we kicked it here. It was always fun. And they kept, they didn't know, but they kept me young, and they
Hmm.
kept me wanting to be a cheerleader and go to the games and just support. So I think it's just my extension of family. And
Yeah.
it reminds me, because I am third generation teacher with CPS, it reminds me what my mother did and my aunt and my grandmother did to make school fun.
Yeah. So since you brought your wonderful mom and aunt up, let's talk about just women in general. So it doesn't have to stay with your family,
Okay.
but let's think about. I would love to hear like maybe three women that have been like your inspiration, and not maybe not even just in this career, but just your inspiration, because I don't think sometimes you realize how much you inspire other women as well. And so I'm curious as to like what three top women would you say? And I know it's a lot. So if she
So
don't
let's
mention
do
your name, let's do
categories.
this. So if she don't mention your name, it
Ooh,
don't mean
are
she
we
don't
live in
love
these streets?
you.
So
And
let's do
don't
categories. So let's do categories.
Okay.
So let's do famous women that I probably would never meet, but would want to meet. Hands
Okay.
down, Oprah.
I knew you was
It's
gonna
my
say Oprah.
girl. Oprah has that Midas touch.
I know
And when I
we've had our
say that,
discussions on
right, when
that.
I say
So,
that, I mean whatever she touched, it just magnifies. That's powerful.
but I think that's what happens with you. That's
I
why I
pray
said
for
you
that.
keep
I pray for
reinventing
that.
yourself, and you don't realize that when you get knocked, you reinvent and become, and you just come out even the box stronger. And I don't think you always see that.
I don't.
But I've just watched you over the years, from assistant principal to then principal, but having to deal with all of
Oh
the
yeah.
movement there. I've seen where the merge
Oh
from
yeah.
Delano to Melody,
Hmm.
and having to merge those parents. I've just seen you continue to reinvent yourself, which reinvents your community, which reinvents your neighborhood. I've even seen where now people, if you walk down Madison Pulaski, Wilcox,
Hootie hoo, and
everybody
I'm right
and
there.
everybody knows you, right? So that doesn't come from somebody who doesn't reinvent themselves. That comes from somebody who is always reinventing themselves to stay connected. All right, so let's go with these women.
Okay, so Oprah. My granny and I used to watch Oprah, and my grandmother used to always say, "It's amazing to see a black woman on television,"
Mm-hmm.
and that was powerful
Yeah.
because she cried. I'm like, really? So Oprah's gonna always hold a place in my heart. Another
Maybe
celebrity.
Oprah will get this and she'll
I
call us or
hope
something.
one
She'll
day
take
I
us on
was
a cruise,
there.
or maybe we'll hang out with her, Gail, and Stedman. Me and Stedman will hang out, and then you, Gail,
Off,
and
it'll be, ooh,
yeah,
they couldn't
okay.
handle us. They couldn't handle
Yeah,
us.
it might be too
Because
much.
we come in, we turn
Yeah,
the
because
party
I
out.
I can find some purple to wear.
Hey,
Just saying.
No, we come with Oprah. We got to come with the hair. Long hair, don't care. Who else are my people? Oh, Jill Scott.
Yes.
Jill Scott came out at a time when I had lost my grandmother. And so then the songs and the melodies and just the inspiration to just get up and you'll be okay. So
Mm-hmm.
Jill will always be in my heart. And last but not least, and people kind of laugh on this, but it's true, that doggone Rosa Parks.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I got one more. One more. To all my sorors out there for Alpha, Kappa Alpha Incorporated, Nellie Quander. So Nellie Quander was very inspirational of making sure that the organization became incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
Some things was going on. Some women were at Howard, kicking it, and then some other women in the other building at Howard kicking it, and they were creating a new situation, sorority. Those who know, you know. And Nellie Quander came in and kicked down the door and
Yeah.
stopped it.
Yeah.
And the sorors, I tell them all the time, I'm your Nellie Quander. When I see things aren't working, I got to kick down the door. Now, what I do after that, I don't know. But just the point in the matter of we got to make some furniture
Mm-hmm.
move when we don't see things are right. Okay, CPS. I've been with CPS for a long time, so it's
Can you
always
give
gonna
me
be
some of your years?
yeah. I mean, they on sale.
They, oh,
$2.99 point every 6 point years.
right, right.
CPS. So not really. Denise Little, and you know Little.
I know little.
To know her is to love her, and to love her is to know her. But she would always tell us, if you want this job for the what
for the power and the
power
prestige.
and the paper,
Yeah.
then you don't need this
Yeah,
job,
yeah, yeah.
you know. And we still talk till today, and I still get my morning, what do you want to call them? Cute lectures.
Mhm.
She tells me all the time that she's proud of us. She
Yeah.
tell us,
Yeah.
but she was the epitome of what a school's supposed to run. Get in that community, get outside every day. Make sure you do right for those kids, Tiffany. You know, and she's just like gold when it
Yeah.
comes to my career. Who else in CPS?
Now I didn't say CPS,
Oh,
but
I'm
oh, you
categorizing, right?
categorizing. Okay, you've taken over my
CPS.
show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
You know. So CPS. Her name is Denise Samuel, and Miss Samuel still works at Ruggles till today. So I went to Ruggles. I started at Dunbar and then went to Ruggles. But Denise Samuel, I hope she sees this so I can give her flowers, because through all in all, she was especially a teacher, but she helped me really organize my thoughts,
Mhm.
my movement, and kept me grounded.
Yeah.
Being a teacher is not easy,
Not easy.
you
Being a
know.
principal is even harder.
Ooh, right? But when you're young as a teacher and then you have this quote, quote, legacy because other teachers before you have a lot of big shoes to fill.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to do this. I'm just
Yeah.
being honest. This
Yeah.
wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an entertainer, but I can't sing. So
Yeah.
but she always made sure she supported me. She constantly gave me, kudos. And she didn't have to. She was a senior teacher, but she really looked out for me. Then I have my mentoring teacher. I'm a mentoring principal,
Okay.
Aunt Jackie.
My baby mama.
Aunt Jackie.
Oh, can I say that on the air, baby mama?
Aunt Jackie, my G. Aunt Jackie, I emulate Aunt Jackie
So
because
we need
she's
to say Jacqueline Hearns.
Jacqueline Hearns
Yes.
from the Great Heffron.
From the heifer.
Aunt Jackie's a go-getter.
Yeah.
But Aunt Jackie doesn't have any kids,
Mhm.
and I don't have any kids. So I used to think that people would look down on me because I didn't have any kids.
Yeah.
And I remember she and I having that conversation. She said, "Look, Niecy,
Niecy.
you got all these kids that you touching every day. You tell them you have more kids than what they'll ever have."
Mhm.
And when she said that, I'm like, "You're right." So I still talk to Aunt Jackie, and because she doesn't have a kid, I affectionately just made my own adoption agency. So now I'm her niece, and I
Yeah.
should be her only niece, right, Aunt Jackie? Mm-hmm.
Better not nobody else be calling her.
Okay.
Aunt
And then I
Jackie.
have Dorian Gamble.
Yeah.
Dorian student taught under me. I'm still watching her career.
Yeah.
So if you look at it, I have, the hierarchy of the district. Then I have a teacher that was a colleague. Then I had a principal who mentored me, and then I was able to mentor a teacher who's now at ISL and Network 13. But these are those, I still talk to these ladies,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we still have conversation. To people outside, I'm Principal Tillman, but to them, I'm Tiffany, that likes to dance and likes to eat pizza. So, and they know my mama's real name. I tell people, you don't know me unless you know my mama's real
Absolutely.
name, right?
Absolutely.
And so, with that being said, you know my mama's name.
Don't say it on the air because then everybody will think they're close to you.
That's true. Never mind.
But you
But
know I do because that's
I
what you
gotta
always
give
say.
her a shout
Right.
out though. That girl Brenda, baby.
Now you just said it. Now everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm a." You know.
That
I
girl
love me
Brenda.
some Miss Brenda.
Woo, yeah, to know is to love her. My mom is just no nonsense. My mother, and I tell people all the time, I went from the womb to driver's license. Like, ain't no in between with the,
Yeah.
the nurturing stuff. But she's made me the strong woman I am today. I never tell her because I don't want her to feel like I'm weak and
Yeah,
because
yeah.
what's wrong with you?
That's,
but
that's what she would say. She was like, "What's going? What's
Charles, is
something
everything
happened?"
okay with
Yeah,
her?
right,
Is Tiffany okay?
She just said something to me mushy.
We don't play them tears, right?
Right.
It's always the three ladies in my life, and I collect art, and a lot of my art pieces have three ladies because it represents my mom, my grandmother Ruby, and that was the nurturing one, and my aunt Octavia, who
Aunt
did work for
Tay-Tay.
child Octavia, Tiffy, we must have a meeting and make sure everything is in order.
Tay-Tay.
And then my sister, I don't really speak a lot on my sister. My sister really hasn't been there throughout well, that's probably why, because I'm always at work. So my sister and I are 9.5 years apart. And so Stephanie, she didn't decide to teach either. She went to law, which is great. But I missed a lot of years with my sister because I'm always at work. So, kudos to my sister. I think she's a phenomenal
Shout out
woman.
to Stephanie.
Shout out to Stephanie, Tiffany, and Stephanie. But the three powerhouses where I knew I had to change and make a difference were those three ladies. Because we all go through trials and tribulations. I didn't go straight through. We all had some hiccups. I must want to transfer my major 6, 7 times. I didn't want to do this. But I knew I couldn't disappoint the three of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to bring back into the world today. Like, I can't disappoint those
Mm-hmm.
ladies. I can't be on the news with a negative connotation because they're going to be upset with
Yeah.
me. And even
Yeah.
at 53, I can't disappoint you like
Yeah.
that.
And you know what's also interesting about that is as you named those people, I thought about how we stand on shoulders of people.
Mhm.
Like if it wasn't for somebody doing this, we
Mhm.
wouldn't be able to, you know.
Mhm.
So you when you talked about Rosa Parks, when you talked about Oprah, if they hadn't have gotten, you know, stood up to say this is what we want,
Mhm.
it may not have ever opened up for us. And so when I talk about you reinventing yourselves, I think about how you've made a difference over there at Melody because you've opened the door with some things that kids would never had. The playground, the you know,
Oh,
just
it's
the
a lot.
smiles, the laugh, the
Mhm.
things that you've created over there, the learning.
Mhm.
Um, the things that you've created over there have been because you've stood up to make sure that door is open for them.
I wanted to create, and I still am creating, and I got to get my, my AP. I know, because everybody loves Miss
Everybody loves
Tam.
Miss Tam
Hey, Miss
Tam.
Tam. What I love about Tam, we have a different cultural
Mm-hmm.
experience, and I think that's what makes it phenomenal. For those who don't know, Miss Tam is from the Asian culture, so we infuse Asian with our African American, and we come up with the melody stem. Tam, she has her creativity and I have
Uh-huh.
mine, and it marries each other. But what we both want for the world, for Chicago, the students of Chicago, I want you to have that experience where you can turn around and give back to your community.
Absolutely.
It doesn't always have to be academic. I am a strong advocate for academic, but if you don't know how to be creative and you don't know how to make moves, then the academics really
It
don't
doesn't mean
enhance you,
anything. Yeah.
right? So I think that I try to just do an experience for the students. So simple things. I have two ways to my office, and they come if the back door is open. They can come in the back door.
Mm-hmm.
Young lady yesterday, can you warm up these Roman noodles, ramen noodles?
Right.
Can't stand ramen noodles. All right, I warm them up, and then she wants to sit down and have some type of dinner,
Uh-huh.
a conversation with me. I stop my work to do that
Yeah.
because that means more than whatever
Absolutely.
compliance that I have to
Absolutely.
do. And I think that's if you ask former students of mine, that's what they're gonna remember the most. How
Mm-hmm.
we just in my office, I'll bust out some Uno cards. Oh yeah, we'll gamble with candy. Oh yeah, and I'll take your candy. And then we just have a conversation on life because life is lifing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be a teenager right now. Like this, what they're going through now,
Yeah.
I couldn't
And that
do
was
it.
really what I was going to ask
I
you.
couldn't do
Even
it.
in that reinventing yourself, how do you stay connected with the things that they're going through? Like I'm always thinking like young ladies now. You know, my nieces, I knew how to talk and what to kind of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
some of the young ladies now are going through things, you know, from body image
Mm-hmm.
to, you know, all of the self esteem and everything like that. And, you know, how do you bring that in with what you do, like in reinvent yourself?
I asked my younger self. So
Mm-hmm.
I asked the younger Tiffany. We all have secrets that we've done when we were
Yeah.
kids. And I asked my younger self. And also, hip hop was with me. So, they can say, but
Yeah.
hip hop is 50 years old and I'm 53. So that means I was here before hip hop. So I still listen to,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a beat person. I don't really listen to the words, but I know that the girls do. So from time to time, I have to kind of sit down and let them know. You have to decipher.
Yeah.
They're getting a check to act like that. You didn't get a check. So you need to figure out how to separate music, arts
Mm-hmm.
from your reality. Um, I'm also asking the girls a lot of journaling. Just make sure you kind of write your thoughts down, rip it up,
Yeah.
but write your thoughts down, and then organize what it is that you really want to do. And it's okay if you don't want to do
Mm-hmm.
this. I don't have a problem moving around. I do that all day. I don't know if it's ADH or I just get bored quick, but I don't plan a day. I just let the day comes to me, and
Mm-hmm.
I accept it, and I tell Jesus thank you, and we just move on to the next day. Another thing that I do to try to keep moving with the schools, uh, I don't Coming to America, like one of my favorite movies. We talked about that,
Oh.
right? And one thing about the Prince of Joffrey, they constantly reinvented themselves by including their family.
Mm-hmm.
So when I include the students and they kind of give me their ideas, and then I include the staff and they give me their ideas, and I just kind of create like, boom, this is it.
Yeah.
and I'll call you, and we'll just create canvases together. So
Mm-hmm.
this, we're creating history,
Yeah.
and I tell, especially with that pandemic and the moving of the schools and all, that'll be in the history book 30,
Yeah.
40 years well after I'm with Jesus in my
Hence is
many
why you're
mansions.
here as one of the
Is
women
that
in
why I'm here?
history.
Oh, I thought you
Because
just wanted to see my
I mean,
jacket.
of course, I wanted to see your jacket. I mean, I mean, I don't know how we ended. This was not
No,
planned.
it's
This
not.
outfit at
No, we
all.
do this just on the regular.
But I wanted to, and there is quite a few people that we're going to be doing this with. But I wanted to. I mean, first of all, I'm so excited that you were the first.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes,
you know
you're
I
the
love
first.
being the first.
The
Thank
second thing
you.
I want to say is this was important to me because we never always talk about the things that women do for history because we always think about all of our history. So we think about like the Rosa Parks and things like that. But there are people like yourself now that are creating history. And you know, sometimes we don't realize the things that we've done now turns to great things later, but it was because as you said you kicked the door down.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. I'm human, and I tell myself
Most
this.
people wouldn't know that though.
No, no, they probably wouldn't even know that softer side of me. I think black women, and I'm just being honest, it's not easy.
Yeah.
I've been in many of rooms or many of interviews, and oh, we want a black man. Uh, I've been in many conversations, and I can have all my 30, 60-day plan out, and then a man will come in, and I won't get the position because they want a man.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of our black men don't really support our black women, and that's just why I'm always kind of dolo solo, and I truly believe that. And I'm trying to talk to the boys now.
I was just getting ready to ask that.
I'm and I want to be a model to them, but they keep it real,
Mhm.
and they'll say, "Well, Miss Tillman, we don't like the way how the girls act."
Mhm.
But I said, "Well, the girls act like that to get your attention.
Attention.
But what the girls have to realize is really you pushing the black male away."
Mhm.
And so then we're in this single little pod of black women, and sometimes we don't get along with each other. We can be so mean to each other. And I might have I'm not mean, I'm just very cautious with my heart, because everything doesn't do you well. I've seen black women turn on black women. I've been in a situation where I'm trying to help somebody, and in the end you had an ulterior motive or whatever. So I think as just black women, we need to just really redefine what we want, and that we are powerful sisters, and we need to stand on that. Simple things. Speak to each other.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta like me. I don't care about that. My mother told me in third grade, and I told you this. It could have been good, could have been bad. Tiffany, they talked about Jesus, so they're gonna talk about you. I don't care about that, but I am into professionalism. I do believe that you need to speak. That's
Yeah.
just home training. Now, whatever you say about me, you say about me. It's fine. Because, I mean, I'm talking about the women on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But if I see them come in, I'm gonna speak.
Right.
So I think that people have to separate. That's just life, But not to respect just that I'm a black female and you're a black female. I have a problem with that. So when I crossed over to 50, I started seeing things differently. So now I have a lot of black women who are entrepreneurs that I probably just met 3 weeks ago, and I try to just expose them and bring them around like we were doing with our nail friend, who does the nail shop, and I have a lady with a food truck, and they're so like, oh my God, you talk, you speak. I'm like, yeah.
Right.
But that goes back to my theory. Black women are not used to speaking and helping each other out, and that needs to stop. I think that should be historical right there. Just how do we help each other out?
So that could be part of the next phase of your reinvention.
It is,
Yeah.
because the black girls
And it
fighting
starts with us.
outside, right?
It starts with us in the school level to help
Right.
push it in the home, to help push it in the community.
Right.
So I think that's one of the things that, as we continue on in education, that we have to just kind of keep nurturing and kind of having restorative conversations, helping people to understand how it damages our community, how it damages us. In order to kind of keep that going as well.
Well, if we don't, we're going to lose our race.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that we're seeing it now. I mean,
Yeah.
look. We just this past weekend, how many black teenager boys, had passed due to violence, and there's a young lady just recently. So we're seeing that now. So when I think now, like I watch the students outside, they don't even know how to play with each other. You always feel like you have to hit, but to me, that's you're dogging out the other black female instead of
I
lifting
think
them up.
we just
you
were
wanna
never
push them
taught how to
down.
play. It's just
Right.
being like when we were kids, we knew how to play recess because it
Right.
was kind of
Right.
And I think nowadays we have to stop and say, this is how you play, this is how you interact. This is how you speak. And I think as we continue to do that, we'll start seeing a difference in kids. I just, and I say that because I remember when I went to Bradley
Mm-hmm.
and it was 300 blacks out of 3,000
Mm-hmm.
students. And so we just always spoke to each other. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I would come home, I was just speaking to everybody. And my sister would be like, "You're going to get us killed. Why are you talking to them?"
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was about that we had to just speak to everybody because it was almost like this learned behavior there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that as we continue to push and make sure our students are not afraid to do that and are okay with doing it, that they'll start making a change as well too.
So I think that's where we come in.
Mm-hmm.
When we were growing up, different world. That's probably why I wanted to play as well. My family's an organization, but just different world. And then I was in a cotillion. I was blessed to be in a cotillion, and what a cotillion is actually coming out. But prior to the date of the actual June 16th, 1988, when I did bow to society, I had to go to classes.
Mm-hmm.
So we had etiquette classes, I had cooking classes, I had how to speak to the media. We had different various classes. Um, Maybe we should start bringing that back into the
Yeah.
black community.
Yeah.
I think that we don't have anything like of tradition
Mm-hmm.
anymore. Thank you cards, something simple like
Yeah.
that. Like that's one of my pet peeves. But that's learned
Yeah.
behavior. If
Yeah.
a gift comes, I better be getting a thank you card
Yeah.
within the next 2 days because
Yeah.
that's how I was trained. So when I think about what is my next move, I think that
I think you've already told
I
us.
think that's what we're gonna do. I think that's what we're gonna do.
And because that was going to be my last question. Like, what do you think is next for you? And you just like, even though I didn't give you a script, you just like beat me to it.
Jesus, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
But cotillions are more for seniors. I don't.
Uh-huh.
I don't like to rush. Like I wouldn't do that in elementary school. Somebody.
Right.
I did choreograph a couple of cotillions. When I was teaching 8th grade, but it's really for high school.
Did you ever do father-daughter dances?
I did.
Okay.
For me, or
No, for
now?
like at Melody.
Ironic you would say it. We're working on it now, and I had to. I'm just being real.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my students' fathers are incarcerated. I thought about you as well as far as pictures,
yeah.
because we need to start doing pictures. So I'm going to do a I think we just need to do family.
So here's what I would say. Even let if we reach out, I'm sure there's quite a few men here that will come and just stand proxy.
And
you
I
know?
get that, but as a daddy's girl, shout out to my daddy. He'll be 80 on Friday.
Right. He's a Pisces.
He is, them Pisces.
Right.
But as a daddy's girl,
I know nothing replaces your dad.
mm-mm,
I know.
mm-mm.
I know.
Like my father, I mean, because he doesn't have any sons, that's why I gotta know football, because I do men stuff too. But just I, my father just instilled. He gave us everything. So, for example, if my mom got the new car, then I would get her car, and then he would get my car. So he just always took our, I don't want to say hand-me-downs, but he kind of did. Even in bathrooms, he won't even share a bathroom. He always went to the bathroom in the basement. We had the luxury bathroom.
Right.
He had the bathroom in the basement. But he's also taken me on dates.
Mm-hmm.
He also will go shopping. I know how to wear him down. Now,
Right.
he, I ain't gonna get it the first round, but after I walk him around the mall about 6 times, all right, Tip, just get what you want. I'm ready to go, right?
He ready to go
Just
then.
let's go, right? But I always know, even till today at 80, if I have something wrong with my sink at home, either you're gonna try to walk me through it through FaceTime. Okay, all right, I'll fly out there and get it
Right.
for you, from
Yeah.
Houston. So when you have that type of dad,
Yeah, it's irreplaceable. But I just would like any kind of way that we can help, because I believe in like the things that you do. For those that don't know, you want to tell them about your chickens real quick?
we so random. I have some powerful teachers, and I think they're powerful because I don't micromanage. I don't tell them what to do. They need to tell me what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm blessed. I try to stay humble. I might have a little bully-ish to myself. I'm a Taurus. But it's not to bully you to get negativity. It's bullying you to you tell me what you want.
Yeah.
Like,
To bring out the best in you.
right. I'm just here for the majority of the emails and to open and lock the building. But everything else for experience is on the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So the teachers are like, hey, we want to go and get some eggs and incubate. Well, I don't care. Let's go, right?
Right.
So I go visit. It was cute. The kids checked on the eggs. It taught them just how to take care of something. But the chickens were born on my birthday, so I knew then they were powerful. So they started
May
naming
3rd, just in case
May
people.
3rd, May
Yeah, just
3rd.
in case
I
people.
think we had about 12 chickens.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they named them Popeyes and Harold's and
And,
Remus and
and
Chick-fil-A.
was
So
that
now
well
I'm like, well,
KFC and
okay, Kentucky. And then I'm like, what we gonna do with these chickens? I said, oh, I don't know.
because eventually they grow up.
Yeah, because we thinking they just gonna stay little and kick it. They walking around the building like, they're so cute. But just like with preschool, they grow up. And so finally, I'm like, oh, best friend, can you get these chickens for me? Because I can't just let them. They gotta be close enough where we can come. They May 3rd. They Tauruses. They gonna be powerful. But I need to watch them grow. And so then you were like, hey, yeah, bring them over here. I'm like, okay. And then we brought them over, and it was 3 roosters, right? Because I was really.
It was 5 roosters.
Five. So, we were concerned because you were like, well, they got to go. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, we can't knock out the black man. What are we doing? And so I think you kept them on.
Yeah, so we've been told so many times that roosters are not going to make it. They're not going to make it. But all the roosters get along. Like nobody. I was so scared that we were coming and find like.
But why do you think they get
Yeah.
along?
You gonna say because it's May 3rd?
And we taught them.
Oh, okay, y'all
And we
taught
taught
them.
them. So that goes back to children.
Yeah.
We are come from an egg first, and our parents talk to us while we're in the womb. So with our parents teaching their children and telling them, so I create the experience for them to know I believe in you. Now how you do it, I don't know, but I only kick it with geniuses. I only kick it with winners, and that's what we told the chickens, and they all lived.
Yep, they all.
And
did.
they all walking over here.
They all taking over.
And they
this
got
building.
condos and luxury townhomes.
Deluxe apartment in the sky.
I mean, that would only be fitting, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you send me the video, and the kids, oh my God, they're so big. So they want to come over,
Yeah, we're planning that trip. That's going to be very interesting.
I believe in independent students.
I'm going to make them take care of these
Let's
chickens.
roll. They'll
and
come
see.
over. They'll take over. You
Yeah.
remember when you came
Oh,
over
I
with the
want them
divvy
to.
bikes? I got those type of
Yeah,
kids.
I want them to.
When did you come over with the bikes?
We usually come in May.
And one
yeah.
time you came, I think
They took my bike.
and they
yeah.
jumped on the seniors.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
roll out. That's the type of kids we have.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, I thank you so much. Like I don't even know what else to say. You were the first. You talked about history. I really want you to know how much I believe in the way that you reinvent yourself, the greatness that you bring to this West Side.
Thank you.
Because not everybody can, and so. I want to say thank you. And do we have like one of those applaud machines or something?
No, but I'll clap for myself.
Okay. Oh, that's like who said that? And most of all,
I want to.
thank me.
And I do.
Yes.
And I want to thank you. Thanks.
Oh,
Bonnie and Clyde.
yeah.
To the end.
Yeah.
We're building legacies. West Side deserves it. I am a South Sider. South Side raised me, but West Side saved me.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm a West Sider through and through.
Through and through.
So with that, thank you so much, Miss Principal
All right.
Tiffany
And-
Tillman.
So you want to do the
Melody.
dance off now or later?
Oh, we're going to do it when the camera
Hey,
goes up.
let's
They
go.
can't see
Ooh,
everything.
they don't be ready. They're not ready. I appreciate
So
you.
thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Principal Anderson.
Thank
to the
you.
end,
To the
friend.
end.
That's what friendship is. We're true friends.